These now dark and eerie rooms were once the eyes and ears of Britain's air defences. For decades, RAF Neatishead kept watch on the Warsaw Pact, one of a chain of radar stations along the east coast. In 2006, it closed, its future uncertain. Buyers came and went. There were plans to turn it into a solar farm. It was even auctioned on eBay. Now, though, it's getting a new life as an incubator for cutting-edge tech.
We'll be on top of those buildings there.
And this is the new owner. William Sachiti is a Zimbabwean-born tech entrepreneur and an expert in robotics and artificial intelligence. He and a team of engineers have spent 5 years developing this, the Cargo, a self-driving electric vehicle that could deliver packages to your door. And now they intend to turn this historic radar station into a centre for research and development.
That light tap, and you should see some moving. Yep, go, yep, and keep it there. Keep it there. There we are. We're moving. The retail industry is a $4 trillion industry, or rather logistics is such a big, big industry where it's underserved. It's growing so fast and there's not enough people. So what we're doing is making this technology try augment to fill in the gaps as opposed to be the straight replacement, because straight replacement doesn't actually solve the problem.
The Cargo uses a system of cameras to sense the world around it. At the moment, UK law says autonomous vehicles like this have to be monitored by a human who can take control if there's a malfunction. So Cargo either carries a person or is observed remotely from this cockpit inside a converted coach, a command hub running a massive computing power equivalent to 1,500 laptops. William says this car can actually already drive itself, this tech more than capable of doing everything a human driver can do. This could replicate all of the myriad of different decisions and things that I would make driving my car down the road in terms of the signs, people who might be crossing the road in front of me. It will be able to work all those things out.
Absolutely, and I'll explain how we can do this. So imagine this. The car can do up to 1 trillion calculations a second. That is a huge number. So when there's a car coming ahead, a cyclist there, a traffic light, imagine to it everything's happening at snail pace, so slow. So a pen and paper, right, that car over there is coming how many miles an hour, writes it down, and does every possible mathematical calculation of where that car's going to end up. Okay, I figured out what they're going to do. That cyclist, it knows they're not going to just fly into the sky, it knows they're not going to just 80 miles an hour into the road, it knows what it could and can't do, then it does another endless calculation, that one, and then in relation to that one. Okay, we know what those two are doing. And it's all happening so fast in its head. So by the time the car's got to you, it already knows what's going to happen up to 7 seconds ahead. So it's literally a time machine. As
part of Project Astra, the RAF has been evaluating Cargo, testing it around RAF Bryce Norton. The MOD is exploring ways of using self-driving vehicles to make deliveries around military bases and possibly carry people from one location to another.
If you think of the Royal Air Force or the military, these are highly skilled personnel that have been trained for years to be able to do very specific tasks. And then sometimes just having to move something from one side of an airbase to another side, which is literally nearly 100 acres in size, or even 1,000 acres in some cases, it's a long way to go. It ends up being half an hour of your day, half an hour coming back. And so these are simple tasks we try and use automation to solve. So the highly skilled personnel can focus on more complex tasks, which are more for humans as opposed to for robots.
William paid a sizable sum for Neatishead, but he's getting a lot for his money. Dozens of buildings, an officer's mess that he intends to turn into his home, and even, as he showed me, his own personal squash court. Most interesting of all, though, perhaps, is what lurks beneath. William is now the proud owner of a vast Cold War bunker that stretches for 4 acres beneath the base. Down here, in top secret, military personnel ran part of Britain's radar defences, scanning the North Sea for incoming Soviet aircraft. In 2004, the bunker was decommissioned, with operations transferred to RAF Bulmer in Northumberland. But the power and air conditioning systems have been kept running ever since, meaning the whole place is preserved just as the military left it nearly 2 decades ago. Neatishead's bunker and radar equipment are listed as structures of historic national interest. William plans to convert several of the other buildings to offices, laboratories and production facilities, and bring some of the best brains in robotics and AI up here to Norfolk.
Self-driving cars now drive better than us, but not to the point where it's 100% of the time always. And because we have that sort of bias where we need it to work, 700% better. And that might take a while. But the way we're doing it, a super intelligent robot running small errands, that works because that's the most effective type of robot today.
Neatishead's military role hasn't completely disappeared. Next door, the RAF still operates a much smaller remote radar head, part of the UK's air surveillance and control system. The base's history is being preserved too. Nearby is the RAF Air Defence Radar Museum, which contains the country's only original Cold War operations room. As for the future, well, there are big plans. This station that once protected Britain from nuclear attack, now finding a new lease of life as a launchpad for new tech. Simon Newton, Forces News, Norfolk.